We will once again use Porter's work, but we'll use his value chain framework to analyze the primary and support activities of your organization. I'm Saideepa Kumar, Research Fellow at the Tasmanian Institute of Agriculture, University of Tasmania. These lectures have been prepared with material supplied by Dr. Neil Ritson, Senior Lecturer at Lincoln University, and Dr. David Monkton, Lecturer Agribusiness here at University of Tasmania. So let's look at the value chain. Porter's value chain is a useful strategic management tool. It was first described by Porter in his famous book, Competitive Advantage. It looks at the process of how you change inputs into outputs in such a way that you have greater value than the original cost of creating those outputs. The more value an organization creates, the more profitable it is likely to be. And when you provide more value to your customers, you build competitive advantage. So Porter's value chain focuses on systems and how inputs are changed into outputs. It breaks down an organization's activities into strategically relevant pieces, classified as primary or support activities. Primary activities relate directly to the physical creation, sale, maintenance, and support of a product or service. Support activities, on the other hand, are those that support the primary activities and each other. Porter's value chain can be used to systematically analyze all the activities of a business and how they interact to identify sources of competitive advantage. Let us look at primary activities. Inbound logistics are all the processes related to the delivery, movement, and handling of raw materials from suppliers. Your supplier relationships are a key factor in creating value here. So who are your suppliers? Do you have forward contracts with them? What issues relate to delivery quality, price fluctuations, damage in transit? We could also consider other supplies. Can you rely on obtaining finance from your bank? What about labor supply? Labor requirements are often seasonal, and labor can become critical at times. Do you have contracts for harvesting, fertilizing, netting, pruning, etc.? Operations are the transformational activities which create end products from raw materials that are then sold to customers. Here, your operational systems may create value. For example, many activities now operate on a just-in-time schedule where stocks are moved through the business only when they can react to customer pull or known demand. So, can you draw up your production lines with times, volumes, and labor content? Next, outbound logistics refers to the processes which transfer products to distribution channels and thence to your customer. They may be internal or external to your organization. So how good is your system? How reliable is the courier or transport haulage contractor? Next, marketing and sales are the processes you use to persuade clients to purchase from you instead of your competitors. It includes such activities as advertising, promotion, product mix, pricing, working with buyers and wholesalers, and sales force issues. The benefits you offer and how well you communicate with them are sources of value here. Services are the activities related to maintaining the value of your product or service to your customer once it has been purchased. For example, many weekly vegetable box schemes provide guidance on cooking or recipes relevant to the products provided. When analyzing each of these activities, remember to look for ways to gain a cost advantage or to differentiate yourself from your competitors. Next, we look at support activities. Support activities support the primary functions. Each support or secondary activity can play a role in each primary activity. Questions you might ask yourself are: do you own or lease your site or sites? Who are your main stakeholders? What power do they have? Where does your finance come from? Human resource management is how well a business recruits, hires, trains, motivates, rewards, and then retains its workers. People are a significant source of value, so businesses can create a clear advantage with good HR practices. We also considered this in terms of the source of labor supply as a primary activity. Do you have a written set of HR policies? What about health and safety, which is becoming more and more important in the current climate? Next, technology development focuses on improving the processes in primary value-adding activity. It can include activities that relate to managing and processing information, staying current with technological advances, and maintaining technical excellence. These are all sources of value creation. Do you have a website or online ordering? Do you have any technology to help your planning, not just finance, but also in operations? Next, procurement. Procurement is what the organization does to get the resources it needs to operate. That is the purchasing of material and supplies for its activities. This includes finding vendors and negotiating best prices. What strategies do you use to bargain over your supplies? Margin. Examining where you can add value and save costs in your primary and support activities creates the margin you can achieve. Focus on your primary activities first. Could it be something to do with your operations? Is there a better technology readily available? Or maybe the inbound or outbound activities, the companies you use, and the timelines of their delivery. Think about direct activities, such as transport logistics, as well as indirect ones, such as record keeping, which may help with this. Quality assurance activities, particularly in the horticultural sector, is another important aspect that ensures that direct and indirect activities meet the necessary standards. Next, think about your support activities. How does human resource management add value to inbound logistics, to operations, to outbound logistics, and so forth? Will training improve your operations? As in the first step, look for direct, indirect, and quality assurance activities. Third, find the connections between all of the value activities you've identified. For example, is there a link between developing the operations team, an HR investment, and quantity or quality of product harvested? And finally, look for opportunities to increase value. Review your activities and the links that you've identified, and think about how you can change or enhance those to maximize the value you offer to customers. Remember, are you focusing on differentiation or cost advantage? And prioritize any changes that you need to make. This may need to be balanced between something that is low cost to implement with a minor impact but generates a positive result immediately against something requiring much larger investment but long term that could have a substantial impact. Small wins may be worth doing, but definitely not to the detriment of long-term gain.